Hey guys, welcome back to the Inside the Rays podcast. 3-game win streak, home opener was electric. We got a lot to talk about today. Hey Ethan, how's it going?
Jake, doing good. I mean, going to the home opener today was absolutely electric. Walking in and seeing the Trop for the first time is, almost surreal basically first time in a year and a half. And it was awesome that they came away with a win, and there were plenty of highlights in today's game.
Absolutely, man. I bet that had to be a pretty emotional moment for a lot of people. I know you might have shed a tear there.
A little tear.
But yeah, so we're first going to talk about the second Twins game. Got first off talk about Steven Matz. 6 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, which is not really something you expect to see from Matz. So what'd you see from him?
Yeah, Steven Matz racking up the Ks. We kind of talked about it last episode. That's not really something you're going to see from him, but 8 Ks from him is really encouraging. Heavy sinker changeup, 83% of the time. We talked about the hard hit balls in his first outing. He only had 4 in his second outing year for the Rays, which I thought was great. 83 mile an hour average exit velocity, 71% strikes on the sinker, and just making competitive pitches. He was all around the strike zone, painting corners. I know he had 2 or 3 pitches on the inner half against righties that were just well executed pitches, and just 2 really competitive outings from the lefty so far.
Yeah, you could really see he's always in control. He could just put it exactly where he wants. That changeup is filthy. The sinker's solid. He uses a sinker both down in the zone and up in the zone to get whiffs too, so it kind of acts like a four-seamer as well. And then he's got the curveball he throws against lefties and to steal strikes early in the count against righties. So yeah, really encouraging stuff from Matt so far. That's really the only pitcher we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the offense because they scored 7 runs that day. Yandy and Aranda just doing what they do. Aranda had the 2 RBI double, and then Yandy also had a triple, and then he had, I think, a hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. So what are you seeing from those two?
Yeah, just nothing new, just competitive ABs. 2/3 of that trio that we just keep harping on, and they also had a really good game today in the home opener. But 4 RBIs from 2 of arguably the best hitters on the team is nothing new from them.
100%. Next hitter we're going to talk about, he didn't have a hit, and I think he was one of the only guys who didn't get a hit in that game, but Jake Fraley, just solid at-bats. He had 3 walks. He tied the MLB lead in challenges won, so you could tell he's just really comfortable out there. If an ump calls a bad call, he's challenging it, so for sure he's looking solid.
Yeah, I think the plate discipline was something that we really liked about his profile, especially when the Rays acquired him. And my mom, I know we talk about him all the time. My mom absolutely loves the plate discipline. And he had a really good game today despite not having a hit. But it's nice that he's continued that hot spring in the solid plate discipline that we've seen. I think his chase rate entering today was 18%. So he's just looked really locked in to start the year.
Absolutely. And the next guy, another Rays outfield acquisition this offseason, Cedric Mullins. He's obviously had a pretty tough start, but that was probably his best Rays game up until today, of course. But yeah, he had good defense. He had a really good catch, rangy catch in center field. And then he had 2 hits, including a bunt hit. He had an RBI, and he had a stolen base. So just kind of using all that skill set he has.
Yeah, I think really the only pitch that's kind of given him some trouble is that high fastball so far. I think that's probably something he's going to have to adjust on as the year goes on. But 2 hits, 2 runs scored, 2 steals, first 2 steals of the year, was motoring on the bases. And aside from that slight bobble in center, really good defense. You mentioned that rangy catch, but if Cedric Mullins gets going, we've mentioned this is a walking, 15 home run per year guy. That's going to be a very valuable player for the Rays down the road.
Absolutely. And then the last guy we're going to talk about from that game, Ben Williamson. He had a really good defensive play. I think it was at second that game. And then he had another RBI. He had a walk. He had 3 hits over 95 miles an hour. So he's just been solid, man.
Yeah, just kind of continuing a little bit of the power that we saw in the spring. Getting on base twice with 2 runs and, still showing that, elite defense. And, we mentioned the contact with his profile. The Rays overall as an offense, 5 strikeouts. They came in today with the 7th highest zone contact rate in baseball. And it's just honestly a big refresh from some of the swing and miss profiles from last season. And they're not doing it so far in the first 10 games of the season. It's encouraging to see.
Yeah, 100%. Put the balls in play, good things will happen. You hear Brian Anderson always talk about that. It's true. So, yeah, that was a big win for the Rays. We'll talk about the next game. Nick Martinez masterclass. 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. He only walked 1, which is kind of per usual with Martinez. So what do you see from him?
Yeah, had to have certainly just been working on stuff in the spring because his first 2 starts of the year, he is just absolutely locked in. Changeup was just gross. 7 whiffs on 16 swings, 44% whiff rate. There were 5 balls put in play on the changeup. 63 miles an hour was the average speed of a ball put in play. 45% chase, 62% strikes, 60% first pitch strikes for him. And I just think he keeps you in games. Like, even when he's not going to have his best stuff, which first 2 outings have looked great, I think this is a guy that's going to consistently eat 5 to 6 innings while putting up less than 3 runs. And it's nice that he's had 2 really good starts to start his Rays career.
Yeah, just like I talked about with Matz, that guy just always seems in control. He could walk it to the catcher with his location. I love that cutter. He uses it back door, uses it to just get weak contact, and then that changeup. I mean, it's probably one of the best changeups from a starter in the game. There's a lot of good ones, but yeah, he hasn't allowed a hit on it this season. The whiff rate's in like the mid 30s to low 40s. It's just it's a devastating pitch. So yeah, it was a solid start for him. Next guy is guy we love, Griffin Jax, 2 scoreless innings. He had another 2 hits that were like a combined 100 exit velocity. Like, the guy just can't catch a break, but still powered through that outing. 2 scoreless innings. I think it was 30 pitches. He's using the changeup more, which I know we both like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more changeup heavy. 33% in the outing was, I think, a 10% increase from the last time. Sat 95.9 on the fastball. 2 strong innings, really, from some of the rough stuff that we've seen from him so far. Just uncharacteristic. 7 batted balls. Other than those 2 hard hits, an average exit velocity of under 83 miles an hour, 67% first pitch strikes. And I mean, Griffin Jax just has insane stuff, and it's nice that he's kind of building on it as the year's going on so far in the early part of the season.
Absolutely. The next guy we're going to talk about, Brian Baker. This guy just continues to have a solid performance, man. The fastball looks ridiculous. 20 inches of IVB he averaged on the fastball. 2 strikeouts in the scoreless inning. So what are your thoughts on him so far?
I mean, yeah, Jake, that was my first note. Averaging 20 inches of IVB while sitting 97.4. Yeah, I think that's going to play the majority of the time. He had a 100% whiff rate on 2 changeups and 2 fastballs. He had 1 batted ball put in play, a little dribbler at 65 miles an hour. He just looks awesome, honestly. And he looked really good in today's game, other than that really good swing by Matt Shaw.
Yeah, and like, really, if you across the board, the velocity from every pitcher in that series was down. Like you said, Griffin Jax 95.9. That's pretty low for him, but it was so cold, so a lot of these guys were low. Brian Baker was sitting 97.5. He topped at 98.5. Like, this guy his fastball is a weapon. His changeup might even be better, which is crazy with those fastball characteristics. So yeah, just been a really great start to the season for Baker, and with the pen the way it's been so far, that's definitely been a welcome sight. So next guy we're going to talk about, last reliever, Kevin Kelly, finished it off in extra innings. So what'd you see from him?
Dude, I mean, scoreless to close it out. We're not going to kind of spoil about the next game because there's something that Kevin Kelly did that was exceptional. But one, the sweeper, I think every outing has looked encouraging. I really, really like the new changeup, and I know in today's game it looked really good as well. But just encouraging stuff from Kelly, and I think, I mean, like I just said, I think he's getting better every single outing so far.
Yeah, we'll talk about him more on the game that happened today, but I thought today was his most encouraging outing by far, so I'll talk about that a little later. And then the hitters we're going to talk about, it was kind of a low-scoring game, so obviously we got to bring up that Junior home run. I mean, that was the second lowest ball hit for a home run in Rays history, and that was definitely the lowest of the 2026 season so far, and I don't think anyone's beaten that. I mean, it was a ridiculous swing. It was a pitch he was fooled on before, splitter against Simeon Woods Richardson, and then he just powered it like into the upper deck. I mean, just ridiculous power.
Yeah, I mean, Junior Caminero brought his golf clubs into the batter's box. I mean, the swing is just absolutely absurd. He gets fooled on a splitter and then almost kind of gets fooled on it again, but just flicks it out at 103 miles an hour, nearly travels 400 feet. It was a 1.4 of an inch off the ground. Like you said, there's no shot that someone's hitting a lower home run. Maybe, I mean, on our first base coach, maybe Corey Dickerson back in the day would probably be doing stuff like that, but
that's a
just an absurd.
Right,
yeah, just an absurd swing. I was going to say, I think probably the lowest home run in Rays history, it's probably Corey Dickerson.
Honestly, you're probably right, because when you said second lowest, I'm like, wait, who in the Rays history could have done that? And then Corey Dickerson, you're right. He had some crazy. Yeah,
he used to hit balls that would bounce before, kind of like Vladdy Jr.'s dad used to do.
Junior, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So that was definitely an encouraging sign from Junior hitting his first home run of the season, and another guy who hit a home run, which ended up being the game winner, Richie Palacios. He went 2 for 3 on that day, also had a walk. He's always had pretty solid plate discipline, so good seeing him be patient there. And then that 2-run bomb he pimped it. He knew it was gone there.
Yeah, I mean, Richard Millie, when he gets a hold of a ball, is beautiful. We saw it all the time with the Cardinals, and I think I've referenced that Orioles series a few times. I think it was the last series that they had before we actually acquired him, he had 2 balls that were just nuked. When he gets his swing through the zone, it is so smooth. The plate discipline is always played, and I think there's a lot more pop in the bat. He just has kind of failed to stay on the field, but it was a really, really good sign for Richie. And I know Junior ran out of the dugout once he hit it. It was nice that the boys were kind of backing him up too.
Yeah, that was huge just to cap that road trip off. So yeah, good to see that road trip end that way. And then obviously with the home opener today, there's a lot of juice today. So we'll talk about that. Obviously got to start with Shane McClanahan. It was a bit of a rough outing, especially that second inning. But honestly, I was pretty encouraged with the way he bounced back, because watching that game live, I honestly didn't think he would get through that second inning, especially I think he had over 30 pitches in that inning. He just had no control. But the fact that he was able to finish 4 innings, I think it was only around 70 pitches. So, I mean, he was more efficient than he was those first 2 innings, and then still finished it with only 2 runs given up. So he kind of kept the team in the game. What do you think of his performance?
No, I think that's a great point. I mean, frankly, Mason Engler was warming up and out into the second inning. It really did not look like he was going to escape that second. Was walking a lot of guys, just an uncharacteristic kind of inning from him. Even the outs he was getting, just kind of down in the count. But the post game, our boy Evan Klosky got that on video. That is, I think, the most encouraging thing. He doesn't want to be known for the guy that, some of the off the field stuff and injuries, and he wants to go out there and compete with his boys. And I think him and Snides are going to be in the lab kind of looking at the mechanics and maybe some stuff that he can improve upon. But like I said, I didn't think he was even going to finish the second inning, and the fact that he was able to go out there and still throw 4, I think is pretty encouraging.
Definitely encouraging. Like you said, I love that mindset he has, man. He's not complacent at all. He's really hard on himself. And obviously after that outing, any pitcher's going to be, but Shane just has a different mindset, man. He's a dog. So, and then like you brought up about the mechanics, I think he was rushing it a little bit in that second outing. On the broadcast, they talked about how he was throwing it at 10 seconds on the pitch clock. So I think he could be a little more, just a little patient. And then obviously they can get in the lab with Snides with the mechanics. So overall, not a terrible outing for Shane. We're going to talk about the bullpen because they really back Shane up. First guy we're going to talk about, Kevin Kelly. That was the best his sweepers looked, and I think in 2 calendar years, in my opinion. I actually didn't look at the horizontal movement, but it was ridiculous. He struck out Bregman on it, and he made Bregman look silly, and that's not easy to do. The velocity, he touched 94 with the 4-seamer, and he touched 93 with the sinker, and that's after he's thrown 2 out of the last 3 days, and one of those outings was a high-stress, ugly outing for him. So, I mean, I'm very encouraged with the way he looked today.
Yeah, every single pitch from Kevin Kelly today was up half a tick. The 4-seam was up 2.3 miles an hour from his yearly average. That is nuts. I know the sweeper looked good. The changeup is awesome. If he is able to remotely locate it, I know in the third game against the Twins, it wasn't sort of there. It looked good, but it wasn't in the zone too much. But overall, limited hard contact and 70% strikes. Dude, Kevin Kelly looked nasty today.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Kelly used to be one of my favorite relievers, and that game right there kind of showed exactly why. Pretty solid sinker, and then you got the sweeper off of it, and now you add that changeup to be a 3-pitch mix. I think he could just be really solid going forward. Next guy, another reliever that we both like, Hunter Biggie. Second good performance since being called back up. I think he's showing he should have made the team. Let's be real here. I mean, the velocity he adds from the right side. He went 1.2 innings in that game too, which kind of gave him some length, which they needed with Griffin Jacks down.
Yeah, I mean, still, he didn't have a K, but I mean, 1 2/3 with no runs, no hits, sat 96.6 on the fastball, which it's probably going to tick back up. 80% first pitch strikes, 5 batted balls, an average exit velocity of under 79 miles an hour. They were not piecing him up. And I noticed too, when he went back out there for it's pretty much his first full inning after those first 2 outs, in the previous inning, his velocity was up half a tick. I think his fastball was up. Yeah, it was up 0.6 miles an hour. So, I mean, yeah, Hunter Biggie's looked really good in his first couple stints so far.
And I think as I was watching these last 2 performances by Biggie, I think the Rays are doing something like they did with Boyle. I think they're having him not throw as hard, but have him be a little more mechanically sound and have him stay in the zone more. Because if he's in the zone, I mean, his IVB on his fastball today was 21, 22. At the drop, that's going to play, man. And then obviously he's got the slider and then the new changeup off of that. So, yeah, really encouraging performance from him. Hopefully he can keep getting those high leverage situations and just to see how he blossoms for sure. And then the last reliever we're going to talk about, or no, we have 2 to talk about. First, I want to talk about Ian Seymour. He gave up 2. He gave a leadoff double and then a double after that. They somehow didn't score, so second and third, no outs. But I thought the way he battled after that, I thought was as a reliever, you need that something in your DNA, and he did it. So I like that a lot about Seymour today.
Yeah, no, I like the point that you made about the doubles because during the second double, I thought it was like, okay, like that's like for sure a run. And I looked at the scoreboard. I'm like, they didn't score a run there. I don't know. I forgot who hit the first one. That read had to have been, I mean, god awful. Was it clear? I was at the game. Was it clear double?
Hap and Kelly.
Yeah, because Hap did it from the right side. Yeah. That, I don't know. That was, I mean, pretty rough. But I mean, going back to Seymour, like, yeah, aside from the doubles, like 62% strikes, very changeup heavy. Like, I mean, that is it's pretty much his bread and butter. I know we like the cutter and some of his other offerings, but when the changeup is on, like, it is money. And he also utilized the sweeper and the cutter more. I mean, still, like we talked about last episode, basically Ian Seymour bouncing back after the first, I mean, brutal outing in St. Louis. It's been some good stuff for him so far.
For sure. And then the last reliever we're going to talk about, Brian Baker, who's honestly looking like the current closer right now. He gave up a home run. It was a really impressive swing by who was that by? It's by Matt Shaw. It was by Matt Shaw. Yeah, it was a really impressive swing. But other than that, I mean, the fastball is just ridiculous. He struck out Pete Crow Armstrong on the changeup. That was filthy. And then I love seeing that guy after he gets a strikeout to end an outing. That he's always fired up. He's kind of that the fired up guy you want in your bullpen for sure. Kind of like Pete used to be.
Yeah, just psycho closer. He just gets, I mean, extremely amped up. I know, I mean, we're going to talk about Chandler Simpson here in a little bit, but I think Brian Baker was probably the second most amped up player on the field today. Stuff looked absolutely gross. The changeup, like, oh my gosh, just absolutely falls off the table. 2 whiffs on 3 swings. It had 3 more inches of drop compared to his last outing. And yeah, like you mentioned, like I think he's probably looking like the closer going forward so far. But yeah, I mean, the stuff has just looked otherworldly, especially when that changeup is on.
And I think with all the bullpen arms the Rays have, I think it'll be mostly a closure by committee, especially when Griffin Jats gets back going, and then you get Clevenger and Uceta back, and then eventually Manny Rodriguez back. I mean, you're looking at a 5-headed monster right there, and that's not even including Hunter Biggie, who we just talked about. So, and then Kevin Kelly. I mean, there's Seymour. There's a lot of things to be optimistic about with this bullpen. Just got to get healthy and then kind of tread water until then. So we're going to talk about the offense now. Obviously, you got to talk about what Cedric Mullins started off with him. Tied the game up. I think it was in the second inning. So what did you see from him?
No, just, I mean, an absolutely beautiful swing. Like, good for him to kind of get his first one out of the way, and it kind of snuck over the wall. But we saw it in the Twin Series. The ABs just got better. I think it was the third game where it was the second game where he had, you know, the 2 hits, the 2 steals, and looked good on defense. But yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of going to start getting to the point where he's heating up a little bit more. I mean, we've seen the defense, it's been pretty solid. But the fact that, yeah, he was able to get his first one out of the yard was very encouraging.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, we've talked about it multiple times. The Rays don't need Cedric Mullins to be his 2021 All-Star version. They just needed to be even like a slightly below league average bat would be fine with the way he plays in defense and then his speed. So, yeah, definitely an encouraging sign for Mullins to hit his first home run with the Rays. And the next guy we're going to talk about, his left fielder, guy next to him, Chandler Simpson. He had his 6th multi-hit game. Guys, there's only been 10 games. This guy's a machine. That was he was right in front of Mullins there. Mullins drove him in. So what are you seeing from Chandler lately?
I would just lately, like, the bat to ball skills are absolutely insane. Like, his zone contact rate is up there with like Luis Arias, maybe slightly worse. The main thing I have from today, every single event that happened, Chandler Simpson was fired up. The catch, he was fired up. John Boy Media was tweeting about it. He always pumps himself up and he like looks around and he just like, bro, he's a demon. Even the steals too, like he lost his helmet both times. He goes and picks it up and swipes it and he's just kind of feeling himself. And even the Mullins homer, when Mullins hit that ball out, he was yelling at the Cubs dugout and just getting amped up. It's nice to see.
I had to clip that one because I mean, after you hit a home run, like you're always juiced up. But then you see Chandler Simpson on the replay. Even Dwayne Satz was getting a crack at him. You got to love that guy. And then after his catch, I didn't think he could get more hype than the Mullins home run. And he was going crazy. And I think right there, then and there, he was like, yeah, that's for all those people that didn't think I could stick in left field. So, yeah, that had to feel really good for him. And honestly, his defense just continues to impress. Like, we always talk about the speed and the bat-to-ball skills, but that catch was huge there.
Yeah, I was wondering, I know you obviously clipped it. I was wondering if the broadcast was going to show him getting amped on the Mullins homer. Because like in person, it was like even better. He's just moving around and getting fired up. The one thing that I keep seeing with like Chandler Simpson, a lot of his batted balls are over 95 miles an hour. Like he's not going to hit the ball hard. You don't really want him to hit it in the air too much, but the fact that like he's hitting the ball slightly harder than what he was last year, like
he hits the ball
that's
hard.
solid.
It's just he hits the ball pretty consistently hard. He just doesn't have the over 100 type of exit velocities, but it's consistently like you see those line drives he hits. They're consistently in the low to mid 90s, which I mean that gets over the heads of defenders and it gets in the gaps and he can stretch it out to second. So yeah, I think people underestimate like. People think he's like just a slap hitter and like all that. Like he can hit the ball pretty hard sometimes.
Yeah, he hit a ball up the middle today to Nico Horner, and Nico Horner, I mean, great play, but he had no shot of getting out. The Cubs lady in front of me is like, how are you able to throw this guy out? Like he just needs to put the ball in play. And like I know people talk about batted ball luck and all this stuff. Like Chandler Simpson knows where to place a baseball. Like I think the bat to ball skills are that good. Like he's I mean, he hit almost 300 last year. I know people don't talk about batting average, but the guy knows where to place the ball, and if it's remotely in play, you better bet his ass is going to be on first base.
I mean, he's always hitting the ball up the middle the other way. There's a reason for that because a ground ball to second base, a hard ground ball, which Simpson does that sometimes does that. That's the last thing he wants. Or he hit 2 fly balls in left field today. I know. After one of them, he was pissed because one of them actually got to the warning track, but you could tell he was pissed because he's like, I got to get the ball on the ground, man. So yeah, up the middle the other way. I think his bat to ball skills are just special, man. So I can never get enough talking about him. So and then we're gonna talk about the other kind of star of the day, Junior Caminero, man. I mean, hit a home run on basically a letters high heater. I mean, it's just the guy. You kind of knew he was hitting a home run in Trop opener, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking with the shout out Rayson on Twitter. We were talking 20 minutes pregame. I'm like, dude, there's literally no shot Junior Caminero is not hitting a homer. I mean, me and you talked about before recording, like, dude, this guy in the playoffs is going to be absolutely unreal. Like, we're not even ready for it yet. But yeah, Jamison Taillon did not really have it today. You're going to try and sneak 90 by Junior Caminero at the letters in the second AB. Yeah, good luck, bro. Just an, I mean, absolute bomb. 106.8, 401 feet. I probably had to have been over 401 feet. Almost cleared the bleachers in left field. It was a beast. But yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he hit a homer today? It was probably like anyone watching or listening pretty much knew that today was a lock for a Junior Caminero bomb.
Absolutely, yeah. So back-to-back days of the home run. I can see him hitting another 1 or 2 this series. So keep a lookout on that. And then the other guy who had a home run, Jonathan Aranda. I had a feeling it was happening, especially when Phil Maytone. If you watched Phil Maytone with the Rays, you know he has a propensity to throw some meatballs. And Jonathan Aranda can handle breaking balls with the best of them. So, and that was the difference in the game right there because it was a 2-run game and it was a 2-run home run by Aranda. So.
Yeah, Aranda escaped the 38-degree weather and hit 2 balls over 95. And like, dude, the fly ball carry, it's so gross. Like we saw it in the Cardinal series. Like we were kind of joking about juice balls. Like, dude, he had that at the Trop. Even someone was joking around with me. They're like, "Oh, where's like the wind tunnels or the wind or the fans in Tropicana Field now?" That ball was like what almost right center,
over 400 feet, and he didn't even really get it that like. He obviously hit it hard, but it was like 104. Like
yeah, it was 103.5 at 403 feet. Like
Aranda's got a lot of more juice than that too. Like I always rewatch that Baltimore home run. It was like I think 109 or 110 out the bat, 465.
Yeah, farthest home run in Camden Yards history.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, you talk about Chris Davis and other guys like that. Like there's a lot of guys with crazy power that hit there. So yeah, I think his raw power is constantly underrated. Like everyone talks about just how good of a hitter he is, the way he can use the whole field. But I think he might hit 30 home runs this year. I mean, he's got 3 in 10 games?
3 and 10.
You look at that pace.
And he was like slumping. Like, I mean, he had the one bad game, but all the other, like, the game that we didn't talk about, I was looking at, he had 4 balls hit over 95 miles an hour.
And they were just right to center field.
Right.
He was smoking it right to center field. And honestly, after that first Twins game, I'm like, yeah, I don't think Aranda's a guy that loves playing in the cold. And then he ended up hitting a big double. But other than that, it was kind of a tough series for him. But that last game in the Twins series, he was hitting the ball right in the screws. He was getting under it a little bit, and it was right to center. So, yeah, I'd never worry about Aranda. His slumps are going to be like one series. That's it. Like
his slumps are almost productive, too. It's like exactly. I've never seen a guy slump like that.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So, yeah. And then we're going to talk about a couple more guys. Obviously, got to talk about Taylor Walls being reinstated off the DL or IL now. Yeah, he had a double the other way. It was obviously a interesting play by Ian Happ there. He had a rough time in left field today, to say the least. Yeah, it was good to see Walls make some good contact, man.
Yeah, Walls got a double. Also, shout out to you. I like calling it the DL, too. I think real ball knowers like the DL more than the IL, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, Ian Happ, kind of a rough game in left field. Dude, Taylor Walls defensively in person, like, it's insane. Like, even before the ball is hit, like, his movements are crazy. Like, Yeah, people can give him whatever on the bat, but like, dude, this guy is such a gifted defender. It's almost an automatic out every single time the ball is hit to him.
Yeah, you'll never catch me complaining about his defense. Like,
No.
it's one of the most special watches you'll see defensively, especially at that position. Some people don't understand how hard it is to play shortstop, especially with how hard these guys hit the ball. And like you said, I love how you talked about like what he does before the pitch. Like you could just tell he's in the zone and he's very rhythm based. So honestly, if you're a parent or your kids wanting to learn shortstop, have them watch Taylor Walls. So
Yeah, that's
obviously
awesome.
there's a lot of limitations with the bat, and I think we all know that. We're not going to harp on that, but yeah. So it was good to see Walls back. Hopefully he can. I actually was at a tweet about it today. His walk rate his first 4 years were somewhere between 12 and 13%. Last year was only 8%. So if he can just get that walk rate back to what it was, I think he's a serviceable player.
His plate discipline's always been nuts. Like if you go look at the chase rate, it's really good.
Exactly. That's why we need to see that walk rate get back to what it used to be, and then he could just be like. I mean, obviously he's going to be a below league average bat.
Give me an 85 to 90, and I am chilling with that WRC plus.
Exactly. Yep. So, and then the last guy we're going to talk about, Yandy. I mean, we got to talk about him every podcast because he's just a machine. First pitch of the game. Literally every game you watch the Rays, Yandy's swinging first pitch on that first because all they do is throw a fastball down the heart of the plate, and he smoked it up the middle. And then he had another hit, and then he had the hit for the Aranda home run, which ended up being the difference in the game. So yeah.
I mean, he's hitting 415 with a 1123 OPS. Like I have to check. I think you mentioned it might still be Pajes for the league leader in hits, but I mean, Yandy with 2 hits is like the least surprising thing to start the year. He's just been absolutely locked in at the dish.
100%. So that's going to be it for the home opener. We had a 3-game win streak, so there's a lot of positives to talk about. We didn't really talk about any negatives, so obviously different than the last podcast. And then we're just gonna break down kind of the remaining series, the matchups. We got Drew Rasmussen tomorrow, who's looked amazing against Javier Assad. He actually wasn't slated to pitch. Really, I think he's a really solid pitcher, but Matthew Boyd's going on the IL. So what do you think about that pitching matchup?
Yeah, I mean, dude, tough for the Cubs rotation, dude. Like it's been, I mean, just
Justin
kind of a
Steele, Horton, and then now Boyd. That's tough. That's 3 solid pitchers.
Yeah, dude. When Cade came out of the game, like I was just like, there's just no shot. And then the news, like an hour or maybe 2 hours before the game, about Boyd, like it's just been kind of brutal for them. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Rays are like comfortably like pretty set up for the series. Like I know we even talked about after the first Twins game, like we liked the Rays going through that series in terms of like the offense was looking good. You had 2 guys that were going to go out there and deliver you some solid innings. But I think it's Junior Caminero's show right now. I honestly do. Like he's absolutely locked in at the dish. Like once you saw the golf club swing home run, it was just like, all right, like this guy is like certainly starting to feel it. Looking almost reminiscent of the WBC stuff, but I mean, yeah, offense continues to make contact. And yeah, I mean, Drew is going to probably shove. Like he just always goes out there and he's just Mr. Consistent.
And the one thing I will say is the Rays might need Ras to go at least 6-7 innings because the bullpen is in pretty rough shape. Brian Baker's pitched 2 games in a row. Kevin Kelly's almost assuredly going to be down. Jack's just threw 30 pitches in 2 innings a day ago, so he might be able to pitch, but that's going to be tough. So, and then obviously Seymour might not be able to go. So the bullpen's kind of in flux right now. So hopefully Raz can give them some length. And then the next game we're going to talk about Joe Boyle, which might be one of his last starts, which I know there's some conflict around that. I mean, it's tough when you got Pepio coming back. Who's gonna replace who in the rotation? But then you got Boyle against Colin Ray. So what do you think about that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Boyle can even stick in the bullpen once Pepio is back, to be quite honest with you. Like, I know we were talking about, like, that, like, top 5 or 6. Yeah, throw Joe Boyle in there. Holy crap. This guy's going to be sitting, like, I know he's down in velo to, like, kind of be with the command and stuff. He's going to be out there throwing 100, like, no doubt. Against Colin Ray, I think I like her chances. No slight to him.
There's a reason he's, like, the 7th or 8th guy, and he was in AAA.
Yeah, no disrespect to Colin Ray. It's just, like... I think the offense is just a lot better than what it was last year. I think they're gonna make a ton of contact against them.
I actually have a proposition for you here. What do you think about Shane McClanahan and Joe Boyle piggybacking each other? So Shane 4 or 5 innings, Boyle 4 or 5 innings, and then that'll you don't even need to use a bullpen that gig. Give them kind of a reset day. I think because with Shane, especially we've seen some blow up innings, having a guy like Boyle like right behind him ready to pitch, and then obviously they're 2 different pitchers. One's a lefty, kind of a little craftier now in his career, changeup, slider, cutter, or curve with Shane, and then Boyle just flamethrower. So what do you think about that idea?
No, I think definitely could be an option. I mean, I think even Joe Boyle's like first couple of stints with the Rays, like that's what they were having him do. They were having him piggyback guys. I don't want to like maybe it was Ras to start the year, or maybe it was even Seymour. But they had like Joe Boyle, I think, piggybacking off of 2 different guys. I mean, I could see it. I really hope that Shane just keeps working on what he's doing. Like I said, I thought the post game today was just like, it moved me. Like a minute and 23 seconds of him just like spitting facts, wanting to go out there and compete.
It was 4 or 5 minutes because I watched on the broadcast and like,
oh, the whole thing. Yeah, I just saw the Klosky clip.
You could tell he was pissed. And honestly, you got to love that from one of your top starters, man. Like, just can't be complacent. And look, he said straight up, like, walking hitters is soft. I'm like, damn, like he's on that type of time in this season. So yeah,
can't walk the 9-hitter.
Exactly, that's true. Even Miguel Amaya, I'm a big Miguel Amaya fan, but can't walk the 9-hitter. So you got anything else?
No, I mean, dude, 5-5, all things considered, is really good. The Trop was just absolutely electric. Like, I mean, when you go back for your first game, like you'll just feel it, dude. New food items were really good. I like the new panels. It's definitely brighter in there. Like it almost makes you feel like you're outside. It's like kind of weird. Your first game, you'll definitely have to see it for yourself.
I noticed that. A lot of people were talking about how it was brighter, so that's interesting.
Yeah, just great day. Like us being back at the Trop, I think is going to do wonders for the pitching staff too.
I think the hitters too, honestly. Like obviously, it's more of a pitcher oriented park, but I think some points at last year, like the wind, especially early in the season, like
dude, it was brutal. They were killing fly balls. Yeah,
it killed some of the hitters, and just being in Trop, like obviously it's a pitcher oriented park, but some of the like Yandy loves sitting at the Trop. I think Aranda, he hit 4 or 5 home runs to end that 2024 season, which kind of catapulted his season last year. I think Aranda likes hitting at the Trop, and then Junior, his 20th game at the Trop in his career today, first in like 2 years, hits a bomb. So I think some of these guys like hitting in the Trop.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, that junior swing, San Diego, and dude, in 24, that was like probably the most ridiculous swing like I've ever seen.
The sound but that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about like the IVB guys, like, you know, high IVB guys with, you know, like Biggie and Baker, and when Pepio comes back, like, dude, it's definitely gonna play. And I think it's just in a controlled, you know, environment. And I mean, obviously he's not on the team this year, but like you can go and look at guys like Shane Bass from last year, like his home and road splits were like absolutely brutal. So I think you could see a lot of positive regressions from some of the guys that were already good last year, maybe potentially being even better this year once they're accustomed to pitching there. Plus the mound too. I know people don't really talk about that. Dude, absolutely love the mound. I think Dylan Cease was on Gate 14 podcast like a week ago, and he was talking about like it is by far the best mound to pitch off of. It's taller. I know Jeff Hoffman likes it too. Like it helps the pitchers a lot.
I absolutely love that point because last year at Steinbrenner and even like other road parks, like you could see a bunch of the Rays pitchers really getting aggravated with the mound, like slipping, and their footing wasn't good. So yeah, I mean, being back at the Trop is going to be great for the pitching staff, and it could be great for some of the hitters. So I can't wait to see how the rest of this series goes, and then the Rays face the Yankees after this series. So it's going to be interesting to see. Big 3-game win streak so far. Hopefully they can carry that into tomorrow and the following day. So we really appreciate all your support, guys, and take care.